म बरु एउटा कुनामा बस्छु, I would work with numbers बरु, but I don't want to go meet people. Marketing भनेको, you go door to door, you try to sell what you have. If you communicate the right way, things are going to work. Your face is your logo and the way you behave becomes your brand. A lot of times pricing is done based on the price of Big Macs. Once again, you are always so concerned about your bottom line that you never invest on the front line. If you go to a bank, the guard is going to come and teach you how to write a check. मेरो दाइ हुनुहुन्थ्यो, उहाँले त्यही गरिराख्नु भएको छ नि, फेसबुकमा फोटो देख्दा कस्तो रमाइलो लाग्छ क्या. The market is going to be so smart that you cannot fool them anymore.
Hey guys, welcome back to yet another episode of season 3. Today we are breaking our own rules because we are doers. So today we have one single person to talk about marketing. As a marketer, I know this is marketing, branding. It's too interesting. I think I can listen to it, I can talk about it, I can consume all day long. As a podcast, I know it's going to be a therapy for me and for a lot of young entrepreneurs who are trying to build something in Nepal. Abhisekh Dai, swagat cha tapailai.
Thank you very much, yaar.
Abhisekh Dai is working as a PR and brand manager for Kings.
Yes, एकदम simple way ma bujhaideu.
Yes, please.
People call me bro, brand and relationship officer.
Oh wow.
So it's bro. Ani त्यसको इन्ट्रेस्टिङ कुरा चाहिँ every time I introduce myself, I say thank God he was not brand and relationship associate. के नत्र अर्कै. So that's what I do.
So Abhisekh Dai is a bro.
Bro at Kings.
Bro at Kings.
Yeah.
So you podcast we had been planning for so long, and राम्रो कुरा पाउनलाई मेहनत गर्नुपर्छ, and finally we have something. So Abhisekh Dai, let's jump right into a question because I have tons of questions for you today.
All right, sure.
Okay. So सबभन्दा पहिला चाहिँ हैन मलाई चाहिँ मार्केटिङ किन इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ because as an entrepreneur I can see marketing as a base point for starting new ventures के. अनि मलाई चाहिँ I think understanding marketing, even if you're not a hardcore marketer, understanding marketing can really help you to speed up your entrepreneurial journey. जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई हैन. But then I think this term has still it's yet to be demystified into a basic form. Okay? So even a layman people can understand. No? So my first question is, what is marketing and how it is different from branding?
Okay. Very difficult question, I know.
Okay.
If you want a bookish definition, it's very simple. But personally, I used to hate something with this term called marketing when I was growing up.
Why?
Because it was deemed like that. Like, when I was doing my bachelor's, this was a term that was, this was actually the subject that was given to students who couldn't pass properly. So, मलाई पहिलादेखि finance पढ्ने इच्छा थियो.
Okay.
Like I had a dream of becoming a chartered accountant someday.
Okay.
When I was growing up. अनि त्यसपछि गएर I wanted to do finance when I was doing my bachelor's, but when I was in India doing my bachelor's, मेरो टिचरले चाहिँ के भन्यो भन्दा अभिषेक तिमीले फाइनान्स लिएर झुन्डी बस्नु भन्दा मार्केटिङ लिएर सकाइदियो क्या.
ब्याचलर्स केमा गर्नुभयो?
Bachelor's in business management, majored in finance.
So it is similar to BBA in Nepal.
Yeah. It's similar to BBA in Nepal, but it's called BBM there. Bachelor's in business, Bachelor's of business management. Yeah.
Okay.
So finance पढ्न मन थियो मलाई, जबरजस्ती मार्केटिङ पढ, किन भन्दा मार्केटिङ भने यतिकै सकिन्छ. गफ हानेर सकिन्छ.
हजुर कमजोर हुनुहुन्थ्यो पढाइमा?
अति.
Okay.
Like I was one of the worst students you could ever imagine.
Last bencher.
First bencher, but still bad. त्यो हुन्छ नि कोही त्यो you see those annoying students in class who हल्ला पनि नगर्ने, बोल्दा पनि नबोल्ने, पढ्दा पनि नपढ्ने. I was that.
Okay.
अनि for me, I was more of म बरु एउटा कुनामा बस्छु, I would work with numbers बरु, but I don't want to go meet people.
So do you identify yourself with an introvert?
Not really.
Okay.
Plus आजकल नयाँ वर्ड छ नि ambivert. Yeah, I think I fall somewhere there, but मलाई त्यो पनि एकदम चपाइते लाग्छ हैन. I don't really believe in that.
So how does the transformation happen into marketing where it's a lot about communication, I know?
Yeah, it's a lot about communication for somebody who never talked मजाले पहिला हुन्छ नि. Like त्यो अल्छी खालको मान्छे, you don't really want to talk. सबै कुरा one word answers दिने, बाबु भात खायो भन्दा खायो. I won't even ask back के हुन्छ नि
के गर्दैछौ
लाइक अहिले मलाई कसैले हुन्छ नि भात खा भन्दा अघि नै हुन्छ नि हिजो पनि खाएको थिएँ अस्ति पनि खाएको थिएँ आज यो तरकारी थियो भोलि चाहिँ यो तरकारी खाने इच्छा छ आई विल गिभ द्याट होला कि होइन बट ब्याक इन द डेज इट वाज मोर जस्ट लाइक one word answers and then bachelor सक्यो फाइनान्स नै पढेँ किसिस गरेर I sort of topped the class त्यति बेला हुन्छ नि त्यो इट्स आउट अफ इगो नट आउट अफ मेहनत हुन्छ नि बट नपढ तैँले सक्दैनस् भनिसकेपछि यु एक्चुली वान्ट टु डु इट
Exactly.
समथिङ लाइक द्याट ह्यापन when I got back to Nepal one of the things that kind of the eye-opening moment भनौँ न my first job was working as a finance officer for an NGO okay अनि त्यहाँ काम गर्दाखेरि it was all good हुन्छ नि numbers मिलाउने हिसाब मिलाउने everything was good but I missed human interaction
Okay.
because all I was talking to was bank को मान्छे check clear गर्न जाँदाखेरि or cash निकाल्न जाँदाखेरि or the person I'm actually giving the checks to हुन्छ नि गफै गर्न नपाउने कस्तो गाह्रो हुने के and then after that job was done I got another job where I actually learned marketing but in a very subtle and unknown way भनौँ न अनि for me marketing always was about sales okay? Back in the days marketing भनेको you go door to door you try to sell what you have and that's what I used to feel about marketing and that's how people have put it in my head as well okay? Marketing भन्ने चाहिँ सामान बेच्नु हो भनेर अनि when I got into the next job the part of the job was actually हुन्छ नि coloring or painting huge walls with beautiful artworks called mural art
In Satya.
सत्यमा कलर काठमाडौँ भन्ने प्रोजेक्टमा काम गर्दै भित्तामा पेन्ट गर्नुपर्ने काम होइन
So you were a manager?
I was
Project
the program coordinator there. I was looking after the logistical part as well as the management part. के गर्नुपर्छ को आर्टिस्ट कहाँ जान्छ यस्तो कुराहरू हुन्छ नि च्याउ लाग्दो कामहरू सबै मेरो थियो स्पेसली अनि त्यसको सबभन्दा इन्ट्रेस्टिङ काम वाज आई वाज एक्चुली ड्राइभिङ अ ओम्नी भ्यान अ कार्गो भ्यान हुन्छ नि ह्याड पेन्ट्स इन द ब्याक के अनि आई युज टु ड्राइभ अराउन्ड मेरो लुगा जहिले पनि हुन्छ नि कतै न कतै पेन्टको छिटा लागिरहेको हुन्थ्यो फोरीदेखि नै होइन बट माई जब वाज भेरी इन्ट्रेस्टिङ बिकज आई ह्याड टु गो डोर टु डोर कन्भिन्सिङ पिपल टु गिभ मी देयर वाल टु पेन्ट के अनि वेयर एज बिग ब्रान्ड्स वर पेइङ मनी फर पिपल टु पेन्ट दोज वाल्स हुन्छ नि लाइक कुनै बियरको एड बनाउने होला कुनै नयाँ सिमेन्टको एडको पेन्टिङ गऱ्यो भने त घरमा पैसा दिन्छ नि त बट आई ह्याड टु कन्भिन्स देम द्याट आइम नट गोना गिभ देम मनी बट आइम गोना मेक देयर हाउसेस लुक गुड cool good both in a way and in a way protected as well because हुन्छ नि राम्रो कुरा I mean फोहोर गर्न कसैलाई पनि मन लाग्दैन नि त so that was the trick and सुरुमा गएँ nobody said yes I thought something was wrong हुन्छ नि maybe the project idea was wrong खालको फिलिङ नै आउने गरिकन हुन्छ नि जुन घरमा गएर कुरा गरे पनि it did not work the next time what I tried was I changed the pitch a little bit so instead of saying हुन्छ नि I would paint your wall beautiful यस्तो भन्दा पनि I gave them a story हुन्छ नि which was about केही गरी इलेक्सन आयो एन्ड योर वाल इज लेफ्ट लाइक दिस मान्छेहरू आएर छ्याप पोस्टर हालेर जान्छ त्यो पोस्टरले गर्दा तपाईँको भित्ता छ नराम्रो देख्छ तर राम्रो कुरालाई नराम्रो गर्ने कसैको पनि आँट हुँदैन सो इफ यु गिभ अस योर वाल वी क्यान मेक इट ब्युटिफुल एन्ड टर्न नेपाल ओर काठमाडौँ इन्टु एन ओपन आर्ट ग्यालेरी के एन्ड द्याट्स वेयर वाज लाइक
सो यु युज्ड अ फियर
I used fear, I used storytelling because I told them a situation that would not happen easily.
But then the emotion that you triggered was fear, neither.
Sort of, yeah. But I would not call it the triggering emotion, but I was actually learning how to persuade them. Yeah?
For you?
Yeah, it was good for me because, and when I said that, a lot of people started to like it. And they said yes. And I was like, okay, if you communicate the right way, things are going to work. त्यो काम गर्दा गर्दै the next job I got was Edushala भन्ने एउटा कम्पनीमा and they hired me as the marketing guy there हुन्छ नि and again I have no degree no background about marketing but I had experience of going to the ground and actually convincing people and that was what was necessary रहेछ so 4 P's of marketing wasn't enough हुन्छ नि so it's not just about 4 P's anymore
so what is 4 P
it's very simple product price place promotion यो त अहिले if you even ask भर्खरै BBA जोइन गरेको बच्चा they would actually tell you this हुन्छ नि but 4 P's is basically the foundation of any marketing हुन्छ नि like we were talking earlier it's not just about being able to promote something or sell something but it's about हुन्छ नि the right balance of everything because let's say for example product नराम्रो छ प्राइस सस्तो छ जहाँ पनि अभाइलेबल छ प्रमोसन म्यासिभ भइरहेछ people will buy it once के तर after a while they will start saying or telling other people that the product was shit.
Sure.
So product खतरा भयो भने definitely राम्रो marketing गर्न मिल्छ तर कतिवटा पोइन्टमा चाहिँ नि the problem happens where the product is really awesome but they don't really know how to communicate it well. So that's where the problem happens.
हजुरलाई टोकिएर लास्ट टाइम when we were in हाम्रो यो ब्लू सारामा थियो लबीमा हैन अनि त्यति बेला चाहिँ यो 4P को कुरा चाहिँ it was very first time because I do not come from a marketing background. अनि my marketing experience has been shaped by how I have started companies के अनि हजुरले भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ product a marketer should have an access to go back to the product and change the product भनेको मैले के सोच्थे भन्दाखेरि मार्केटरले भनेको जे दियो त्यो सामान बेच्ने हो डिफरेन्ट स्ट्र्याटेजी युज गरेर कसरी हुन्छ प्रमोसन
that's sales
exactly हैन that's how
तर त्यही हो अब at the end of the day great marketing will always lead to sales. Great branding will always lead to sales.
That's the whole idea हैन
लास्टमा गएर सेल भएन भने was bad marketing or bad branding. We have to understand that because it's not just marketing is not just about promoting but it's about a lot of different things. So एकदम simple भाषामा भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ I always like saying this if you want to talk about marketing and branding and the difference of it, you overall as a person is marketing. Your face is your logo and the way you behave becomes your brand. And that's how it works. And you might think this is just about self-branding but think about it. Every product that we're talking about has a persona. And by persona, we mean it is linked with a person's image. So and that's how it works.
Identifying a brand as a person, as a human being.
Yeah.
So people can relate to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's very simple. You will not buy a product that does not connect with your persona. You don't be friends with Zopai.
Exactly. मलाई यो हजुरले भन्दा चाहिँ के याद आयो भन्दा way back I had an opportunity to listen to हाम्रो अमुन दाइ यो सस्तो टिमको and what he said was where a lot of business are doing it wrong in social media is whenever someone send a message to your Facebook page they get a feeling like as if they are talking with a wall whereas हुनुपर्ने चाहिँ के थियो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ they should have a feeling कि they are talking to an actual human हैन that really hit me and त्यसपछि चाहिँ जुन पनि ब्रान्डहरु हामीले चलाउँछौँ हैन डुवर्स छ वेडनेसपाल छ कम्युनिटी सर्कल छ Defense products and I tell my team whoever is handling social media make sure you add a human nature to it.
Of course.
Just say for example our wedding on Instagram we are pretty active मैले त मेरो टिमलाई कति भन्छु भने if it's a cold day and if you're having a coffee put a story no I'm cold day with a coffee what about you because that will मान्छेलाई चाहिँ त्यो स्टोरी हेर्दा okay there is a human being sitting right there and who is just like me. त्यो एउटा I can relate to that actually persona भन्ने कुरामा brand persona.
Of course I can give you an example as well. Most of the times whenever we send messages to brands let's say for example I like a shoes that's shown on Instagram I send a message to them and their reply would probably most of the times would be something like thank you for contacting us we'll get back to you 80 बजेसम्म next day till then see other products भन्ने खालको त्यो robotic message which is an automated message and that does not feel like talking to a person and I also don't like people who actually whenever we go to a networking event or a party they have a very fixed pitched introduction hello mero naam yo ma yo person like and they give you a business card like dude like I don't want to be friends with a robot. True. I want to be friends with a human being. Exactly. So the example that I was talking about was once upon a time Kingsma you're a message for me as a marketer as well as an educator I felt really annoyed when I saw that message the message was something like यो कलेजमा कुन कोर्स छ हौ भने it's like dude that's not how you talk to a college अलिकति सम्मत भन्ने कुरा त हुनुपर्छ and that's what I was feeling that's how I was thinking I should reply first learn how to talk and then come back to us भन्ने खालको message I mean दिमागमा थियो but the response that I gave after thinking for a while which was about 2-3 minutes I replied to him saying यो कलेजमा BBA र MBA छ तपाईले चाहिँ कुन कोर्स खोजिराख्नु भएको हो भनेर क्वेशन मार्क हैन and then the reply was I was actually looking for this and then the conversation actually happened
nice because you created a relationship with एउटा the guy is just like me
exactly you would buy a product because you get connected to the persona most of the times like you talk like for example I love Apple products because it always talks about simplicity
but you use Android
that's because I don't have money but I use a Mac, I use an iPad. Someday I'll be able to afford an iPhone.
I remember your story, iPhone किनेको होला.
कुनवाला चाहिँ
हजुरले भन्नु चाहिँ फर्स्ट टाइम यु बट एन आइफोन
मलाई याद छैन अब कुन चाहिँ
लास्ट टाइम हामीले कफी खाँदाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो एउटा ब्रान्डले चाहिँ यस्तो एसोसिएट गरिदियो कि एउटा पोइन्टमा गएर चाहिँ आई फाइनली बट एन आइफोन
Yeah, because I think त्यति बेलाको most crazy ad campaign that was going on was saying if you don't have an iPhone, you don't have an iPhone.
True.
It was very simple, very subtle, and it actually touched me. Man, if I don't have an iPhone, I don't have an iPhone. So that's the kind of feeling it gives.
So is that a marketing or is that a branding? Where does it fall?
I think it's branding. It's a feeling that one could associate with me. Marketing would be I like Apple ko iPhone because it's my 80GB RAM, 80GB ROM sounds. That's the product.
It's about the attributes, features, the product.
Yeah, branding would be the feeling that it gave me. If I don't have an iPhone, I don't feel nice about it. I feel I'm being left out. So when everybody is using such fancy cameras, I have to stick to a very normal camera. That's the product side of it. Price side of it, also marketing. I cannot afford it. If I have the money, I'll buy it. Placement, जहाँ पाए त्यो विशाल बजारमा गएर पाउँदैन, खिचापोखरीमा गएर अथवा त पाउँदैन. I have to go to Evo store or Oli store to buy it. So the placement पनि it's like टक्क परेको ठाउँमा छ. You go there, they treat you nicely. That is branding. Yeah, but the placement पनि भयो, branding पनि भयो. I can give you another story about Apple. Like one of my favorite brands of them all-time favorite brands, because I really like sharing this story because it's got a lot to do with branding. Pani. My bachelor's पढिराख्दा इन्डियामा I was living in allowance नि त घरबाट पैसा पठाइदिन्थ्यो and I do not have much money besides मेरो basic living and यताउता अरू हुन्छ नि बेसिक खर्चहरू बाहेक हुँदैन थियो. And त्यति बेला नै what iPhone did was they launched the iPhone 3G and I think it was back in 2008 तिर. अनि iPhone 3G निस्क्यो अनि it was like the coolest phone. यस्तो गऱ्यो भने आफै automatic tilt हुने हुन्छ नि, यस्तो गऱ्यो भने zoom out हुने. Everything was so cool and there was an app which is still there called GarageBand. And I used to love playing drums. अनि काठमाडौँको घरमा ड्रम्स थियो, बेङ्गलोर गइसकेपछि I used to miss that. अनि तर त्यसमा you can tap and play the drums and it was so cool for me. So I used to go to the Apple store and go in just do it, to play with it. Like I think I was 18-19 years old and probably त्यहाँको salesman would be like त्यो आयो बुढो बच्चा खेल्नको लागि. That's the kind of feeling it used to give me. And whenever I used to go, the salesman would smile at me and let me do my thing because म त्यहाँ जान्छु एकछिन ड्रम बजाउँछु अरू सामानहरू पनि फर्किन्छु के. I would never buy anything. What do you think would have happened त्यहाँ त्यो पसलमा? If I was the salesman, I would probably be like
angry.
Don't waste my time. But this sales guy, what he always did was, if there was another person who was actually about to buy an iPhone, he would take me to another section which had the iPad. I don't think iPad पनि थियो त्यति बेला, अर्को phone or the older version, and say, यो यसमा पनि अर्को चाहिँ एप छ, please try that out, it's cooler भन्थ्यो क्या. So म त्यहाँभित्र छिरिसकेपछि that person would never think of हुन्छ नि kicking me out from there.
Now he's a customer for you.
I am his customer right? And म गयो त्यो खेल्यो गयो. So fast forward 2011 where I was done with my bachelor's, I had enough money to buy stuff. हुन्छ नि I could afford an iPod Touch. iPod Touch had all the cool apps and everything that an iPhone did as well. So I could afford that. मेरो सेभिङ्सबाट त्यो किन्न सक्थ्यो. I could buy it anywhere, but I decided to go to that shop and buy from that salesman.
Nice.
So, that's how.
So where does it fall? Does it fall on marketing or does it fall on branding?
I think it falls under customer service or customer's experience, which we don't really talk about right now.
True.
We talk about customer service. Customer like a problem and it solved well, then it becomes customer service. But if a customer just walks in, you give them or make them feel good. That's customer experience. I think that was customer experience side ma.
The customer experience was the marketing periphery ma touch huncha.
Everything is into marketing. That's it.
Because it is a market and it's just ing.
Yeah. So marketing has an ing, which means it's a verb. Wow. It's what you do every single time, every single day, in every single interaction. So branding ko kurama pani theoretically there is something called brand touch points. And what does touch points mean? It's the point where a customer or a potential customer gets in contact with the brand. And the bigger the brand, the more inaccessible all the touch points are, or it's not under your control as a brand. So for example, you go to a store to buy YY, you cannot control how the salesman is going to talk to you. So that's how it's going to be. If you're talking about college co-branding, you cannot control how a graduate is going to deal with somebody, but that has become a touch point. Okay? So for example, I say I'm a graduate from King's College, and कोही मान्छे भेट्दाखेरि पुरा मुख छोडेर गफ गरिरहेको छु सुरुमै, the first impression I'm going to get is किङ्समा काम गरेर पढ्ने मान्छेले यसरी बिहेभ गर्दो रहेछ.
That's how they have been brought up here.
That becomes the brand.
Okay.
So that's how it works.
Brand touch point.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, just for example, a lot of things that we learn, a lot of things that we practice has been derived from research, development on the Western world. You know, one cannot doubt your context, Maki. Every country has a specific psychology, consumer behavior फरक. So my question is, कसरी त्यहाँ research गरेको कुराहरु, कसरी त्यहाँ develop गरेको कुराहरु चाहिँ third world country को माछा applicable होला त?
I think this is something that a lot of marketers still discuss. Like राम्रो marketers, they would always spend a lot of time researching and trying to understand people. They don't make people like things, they make things people would like. There's a very subtle difference, but
so they convert the whole brand in a way that people can accept without changing in themselves.
Yeah, and plus there are so many other factors that you can look into. It's any pestle analysis, which is about political, economical, social,
technology,
everything. And that is very area specific as well. So again, whoever says marketing is not important, it's about creativity, you better think twice, because it's a very huge part of science. Because it's been researched, it can be researched about. You can actually try and test things out. And then a little bit of art, which makes you different from others. So it's a huge part of science and a little bit of art.
Nice.
So we should not forget. Because business side ma parisakyeपछि we think it's all about management. It's not just about management. There's a science behind it.
So हजुरले जुन 4P भन्नुभयो हैन, it is something that has been derived from West, बाहिरकै मान्छेले derived. So त्यसलाई चाहिँ हजुरले नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ त्यही again the same question, हैन, because I think बाहिरको डेभलप एन्ड डिजाइन भएको कुराहरु चाहिँ टक्क ल्याएर नेपालमा प्लेस गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ, तर आई थिंक अब त्यसलाई चाहिँ मैले कसरी बुझ्न पाएँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ टक्क ल्याएर प्लेस गर्ने, तर पेस्ट एनालाइसिस, SWOT एनालाइसिस या जे पनि एनालाइसिस छ त्यो थ्रु गएर चाहिँ इफ यु क्यान इम्प्लिमेन्ट इट देन इट विल वर्क. बेस इज अलवेज सेम.
Basic always stays the same जस्तो लाग्छ. यसमा चाहिँ स्पेशली मार्केटिङको कुरामा चाहिँ नि what else can you think of? Product, which is how something is going to change your life. Like this is a pen right now. मलाई अहिले यता लेख्नु पर्यो भने if this is not there, there is a pain for me. So somebody is actually adding value. It's fixing my pain. So this becomes a really good product. Is it easily available everywhere? Or do I have to go to a specific store to buy it? That becomes the placement of it. I know. On this specific, can I afford this? And how do I check whether the price is good or not? Is by checking the overall economy. So अर्को एउटा एकदम इन्ट्रेस्टिङ छ, which we can talk about later, Big Mac Index. Remember that? अनि लास्टमा गएर promotion, do I know that this is available or not? Has it been communicated to me well? So how is it being communicated is also another big thing. Like if I am a youngster who needs a pen, it's on social media, that's the right platform to get me or feed me information. But if you're targeting the elder generation who are not that Facebook friendly or not that Instagram friendly, you send it out on a newspaper or a radio. Or you want to talk to people who don't really have access to newspapers or let's say social media, you make a TV. If they don't even have TV, you make a jingle out of it and play it on the radio. But the whole idea of promotion is being able to communicate the values that you're bringing into the table and how you're going to change people's lives.
So product, placement, pricing and promotion.
Yeah.
And so if a brand comes, they feel कि pricing अलिकति यो economical धेरै छ भने चाहिँ they would go back to the product and maybe make a product अलिकति different. And just for example अब कुन ब्रान्डको होला नेपालको छुट्टै प्रोडक्ट बाहिरको छुट्टै प्रोडक्ट
धेरै जस्तो ब्रान्डहरुको हुन्छ. लाइक हुन्छ नि, you go to the US and buy a made in China product, it's actually good. So म फिनल्यान्डमा जाँदाखेरि पनि there was a store, I mean H&M को store थियो, अनि I saw a t-shirt, really nice t-shirt, €5 भन्यो. It's like 500-600 रुपैयाँ पर्छ, it's all right खालको. प्राइस ट्यागमा तलपट्टि मेड इन कहाँनिर रहेछ मेड इन बङ्गलादेश भन्यो क्या ए त्यहीँ बनिया रहेछ म बरु बङ्गलादेश इज क्लोजर टु नेपाल खालको फिलिङ आउँछ क्या बट अगेन द्याट्स अबाउट द क्वालिटी म्यानेजमेन्ट
तर यसो हुन्छ नि त कुनै पनि जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल नाइकले यदि आफ्नो जुत्ता नेपाल पठाइरहेको छ भने दे विल मेक स्योर कि इट्स द सेम प्रोडक्ट द्याट दे गेट इन युएसए या दे गेट एनीवेयर अराउन्ड द वर्ल्ड होइन केएफसीले यदि यहाँ आफ्नो चिकन बनाइरहेको छ भने चाहिँ इट हेज टु बी सिमिलर टु अराउन्ड द वर्ल्ड भनेपछि त त्यहाँ त एउटा कुनै ब्रान्डेड कुरा आयो भने त
द कोर स्टे इज द सेम लाइक
प्राइसिङ र हुन फेरि ऊ पनि हो जस्तै केएफसी मेबी नेपालमा सस्तो छ होला युएसमा महँगो छ होला त्यही हो
या बट अगेन अघि भन्दै थिएँ नि बिग म्याक इन्डेक्स भनेर आई थिङ्क यो इकोनोमिक्समा युज गर्छ नट रियली 100% कन्फर्म्ड अबाउट दिस बट a lot of times pricing is done based on the price of Big Macs once again.
Big Mac भनेको चाहिँ
Big Mac भनेको McDonald's is the popular burger again. So McDonald's is known for having cheap fast food नि त so एउटा बिग म्याकको प्राइस कति छ त्योसँग कम्पेयर गरेर प्राइसिङ गर्छ अरे क्या सो द्याट
कुनै पनि प्रोडक्टको
most of the times if you're a new business you actually check the Big Mac index once again because that way you don't have to do much research because they've already done it for you.
Nice.
So if McDonald's come to Nepal Big Mac ko price 300 rupiयाँ छ भने Big Mac index मा 300 rupees becomes like something that everybody can afford.
Standard.
Yeah. So that's how things work once. So I'm not sure about this. मैले पनि अस्ति पढेको थिएँ. It was very interesting. तर हुन्छ नि numbers र economics हुने बित्तिकै मलाई कहिले हल्का weak छ यसमा.
Okay. But then you are a finance graduate.
Yeah, I'm a finance graduate and मेरो masters पनि it's MBA in human resource management. So yeah.
Okay. I think
bad with numbers.
It's okay. You are amazing at marketing.
Not yet, but yeah.
So I think मैले के बुझेँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल कुनै पनि ब्रान्ड नेपालमा आउँछ भने चाहिँ डेफिनेटली नेपालको कन्ज्युमर हुन्छ तिनीहरूले आफ्नो प्राइसिङ गर्छ त्यो अनुसारको प्लेसमेन्ट गर्छ होइन जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल कुनै पनि खतरा ब्रान्ड आयो भने बवाल ब्रान्ड आयो भने दे विल मेक स्योर कि देयर ब्रान्ड इज इन द मार्केट होइन बिकज द्याट्स अ प्लेसमेन्ट होइन घाटै खाओस् तर दे विल प्लेस देमसेल्फ देयर
ओके या स्योर त्यस्तै हुन्छ. So for example, like say you just gave an example of a Nike shoes. Nike shoes ko showroom Darar Marg ma cha, and also you get the same product at so let's say Kumari Party or Botaiti ko gully ma again.
But then the product is very Botaiti ma Nike it's completely different.
Like that's what you think, but that's how we think because psychologically Botaiti or Kumari Party has to be cheaper, and Darar Marg ma cha ni महँगो छ. And the price also says that it's original. Okay? Even if you place the same thing in 3 different places, people will see a difference there. Okay? Psychologically.
Placement is a big factor.
Yeah. Of course.
Okay. But then they would still pay a higher rent in the Wagmark and sell the same product for the same price that you get in Kumari Party because Tarammark has a lot of people, lot of following of people. Just like the brand that they have.
यस्तो भनौँ न दरबार मार्ग has a brand which says त्यहाँ राम्रो सामान पाउँछ अरे
स्ट्यान्डर्ड सामान पाउँछ होइन आई थिङ्क त्यो पर्सनल बिल्ड भएको छ दरबारमार्गमा सो द काइन्ड अफ पिपल हु वाक बाई त्यो लेभलको त्यसरी चाहिँ त्यहाँ ब्रान्ड प्लेसमेन्ट भयो नि त किनोस् या नकिनोस् आखिर त्यो मान्छेले कुमारी पार्टीमै गएर किने पनि प्लेसमेन्ट त गर्यो नि त नेपालको कन्टेक्समा
होइन त्यो चाहिँ भयो नि त अब ठाउँको अब अघि हामीले कुमारी पार्टी र भोटाइटीको इक्जाम्पल किन दियौँ भन्दाखेरि इट्स सपोज टु बी चिपर त्यहाँ सस्तो सामान पाउँछ भन्ने फिलिङ छ बट वेन इट कम्स टु दरबारमार्ग like you will not go there for shopping without having at least 10,000 rupiयाँ in your pocket.
True.
भोटाइटी जाँदाखेरि 1500 रुपियाँ छ भने ए आज त मैले टी सर्ट र जिन्स दुवै भ्याउँछ जस्तो हुन्छ नि द्याट्स हाउ यु गोना थिङ्क
कन्फिडेन्स
एक्ज्याक्टली द्याट्स हाउ इट्स गोना बी बट दरबारमार्ग जाँदाखेरि वी क्यान बी भेरी कन्फिडेन्ट द्याट हाम्रो कार्ड चल्छ क्या त्यहाँ भोटाइटी जाँदाखेरि यु विल गो टु एन एटिएम एन्ड टेक आउट सम क्यास
or you will go with the cash
but that's how things are built के
भनेपछि यो 4 पिसलाई त अहिले आएर बुझ्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो आफूमै एकदमै भेग छ है यसको आफ्नै एउटा बुक हुनु चाहिँ एउटा स्पेसिफिक लाइक वी क्यान जस्ट टक अबाउट प्रोडक्ट वी क्यान जस्ट टक अबाउट प्रमोसन वी क्यान जस्ट टक अबाउट प्राइसिङ एन्ड प्लेसमेन्ट
अफ कोर्स
त्यसको के हायरार्की छ दाइ इट कम्स आफ्टर कि इट्स अ
मेरो लागि द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट थिङ इज गोइङ टु बी द प्रडक्ट राम्रो छ भने जस्तोसुकै प्राइसिङ गरेर लाइक if you have a great product, you price it high, people will still buy it. Like you see how people buy MacBooks.
True.
Just too expensive. So the same specification, any other PC is going to cost like 25% of the price. But people still go for a MacBook. Why does that happen? Because we know that the product is really good.
एक्ज्याक्टली अब म्याकबुक किन्नुभयो भने 4-5 वर्षसम्म केही गर्न नपर्ला विन्डोज किन्नुभयो भने हरेक 6 महिना 8 महिनामा रिबुट गर्नुपर्छ
Exactly. हैन त्यो पनि भयो अनि we believe it because somebody talked about it.
True.
हैन somebody talked about it. We would have never figured out that there is something called MacBook if it was not promoted well.
True. तर अब जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल अहिले वी आर टकिङ अबाउट म्याकबुक बिकज मेबी जसले यो पडकास्ट हेरेर आएको छ उसको चाहिँ एउटा लेभल अप ऊ भयो तर दिस इज म्याक इज नट पेइङ अस टु टक अबाउट इट आई थिङ्क द्याट इज अल्सो अ ब्रान्डिङ होइन
Exactly, that's a very big brand. Like for example, I talked about Apple Store and they never paid me about anything. Like I told you a story about Wordlink once upon a time.
True.
Wordlink does not pay me for it. But I'm really happy talking about it because that brand actually made me feel good.
I think we have to talk about Wordlink experience. So because that way we could conclude kun context ma bhanda marketing, branding and customer experience.
Yeah. So this was a long time back when they first launched उनीहरूको त्यो fiber internet as well as the television thing, IPTV, होइन सो बिहान यत्तिकै उठ्ने बित्तिकै न्युज फिड चेक गरिराख्दाखेरि the message that I saw was Wordlink is now also giving up TV connections हुन्छ नि सो त्यति बेलाको एउटा popular ad which again was very psychological and which hit me again अघि हामी सुरुमा कुरा गरेर fear वाला कुरा गरेको थियौँ नि डब्बा है डब्बा अंकल का टीवी डब्बा वाला thing that ad was actually telling us to get rid of the cable connection and go for HD TV अनि most of the times I mean त्यति बेलाको टाइममा के भइरहेको थियो भन्दाखेरि we had already shifted from the CRT खालको TVs to the flat screen LED TVs which is supposed to be really good हुन्छ नि like in terms of quality, in terms of the looks, everything and people were still using the old cable connections and they were telling us not to use it हुन्छ नि shift to a better brand अनि त्यो एडको ट्रिगर भइरहेको थियो मलाई मेरो घरमा पनि LCD स्क्रिन थियो तर we were still using the old cable connection हुन्छ नि झ्यार आउने खालको and then I was like okay now this is something that's interesting for me Wordlink internet लिइरहेछ if I can get the same connection through that it's going to be a really good thing so what I did was internet को बिल तिर्ने बेला भइरहेछ the next time I go pay the bill I will inquire about it and get the connection भन्ने feeling थियो I went to the office I got a call from mom saying बाबु इन्टरनेट चल्न छोड्यो गएर पैसा तिर्न जा त्यति बेला we did not have the mobile banking thing भन्छ नि so घर बसी पे गर्न मिल्दैन थियो I had to go to the office नै है अनि me being myself very unpunctual अनि very careless what I did was 5 बजेसम्म खुल्ने अफिस म 7 बजे बेलुका पुगेँ फर्स्ट प्रब्लम सेकेन्ड प्रब्लम वालेट घरमै छुट्टाएको थिएँ त्यो दिनमा आई जस्ट ह्याड माई एटिएमहरू भएको एउटा सानो पाउच होइन सो म चाहिँ नि कुद्दै गएँ 7 बजे त्यहाँ पुग्दाखेरि जलाखेलको बिल्डिङको सेकेन्ड फ्लोरमा बत्ती बलिरहेको थियो तलपट्टिको फ्लोर अँध्यारो भइसकेको थियो विच मिन्स द अफिस वाज क्लोज बट देयर वाज समबडी देयर खालको फिलिङ सो म कुद्दै गएँ आई ह्याड 2 विसेस एउटा पैसा तिर्ने ठाउँ खुल्ला होस् सेकेन्ड कार्ड एक्सेप्ट गरोस् हुन्छ नि कुद्दै गएँ एन्ड आई टोटली फरगटन द्याट आई वान्टेड द टिभी कनेक्सन पनि द ओन्ली थिङ वाज मम इज पिस्ड अफ देयर इज नो इन्टरनेट आई हेभ टु गेट द इन्टरनेट कनेक्सन हुन्छ नि ब्याक सो माथि कुद्दै गएँ देयर वर 3 पिपल सिटिङ देयर आनन्दले चिलमा आई थिङ्क इट वाज अराउन्ड नोभेम्बर अफ 2000 आई डोन्ट रिमेम्बर विच इयर बट इट वाज विन्टर पिक विन्टर कुद्दै माथि गएँ माथि पुग्दाखेरि देयर वर 3 पिपल आनन्दले हिटर तापेर बसिराख्नु भएको थियो होइन and there was one guy who was like sitting like this get chill man आनन्दले पछाडिपट्टि and there was this girl who was actually behind a computer and there was another person who was walking around के त्यहाँ so I had no idea who they were and म छिर्ने बित्तिकै the first thing is तपाईँहरूकोमा कार्ड चल्छ पे गर्नको लागि and the girl was smiling सुरुमा म छिर्दै होइन and she actually had like ला कार्ड त चल्दैन त यो एक्सटेन्डेड काउन्टरको टाइममा we only accept cash भन्यो अनि म तर्सिसकेको थिएँ बिकज इट वाज अलरेडी 7 o'clock एन्ड आई ह्याड नो आइडिया कति बजीसम्म खुल्छ सो आई लाइक म तल एटिएम कुदेर आउँछु प्लिज बन्द नगर्नुहोस् मेरो इन्टरनेटको बिल तिर्नै पर्ने छ मेरो युजर नेम यो बिल जेनेरेट गर्दै गर्नु भन्ने खालबाट आई गिभ माई युजर नेम के एन्ड एज आई वाज अबाउट टु रन आउट टु गेट द मनी द गाई वाज सिटिङ लाइक दिस पछाडि आनन्दले आई से द्याट नाना पाटेको स्टाइलमा हुन्छ नि एकदम चिलमा बसिरहेको थियो होइन एन्ड दिस गाई सेज ह्या सर तपाईँ सीता पाइलादेखि आउनु भएको रहेछ नाउ सी द पावर अफ टेक्नोलोजी क्या मेरो युजर नेम राखेपछि म कुन ठाउँमा बस्छ भने थाहा पाइसकेँ होइन दिस गाई सेज तपाईँ सिधा पाइलादेखि यस्तो जाडोमा जब बिल एउटा पे गर्न आउनु भएको रहेछ तपाईँ बरु एकछिन बस्दै गर्नुहोस् बहिनी तल गएर अफिस खोल र कार्ड स्वाइप गरेर आइदियो भन्यो क्या अनि त्यसपछि त्यो केटीले पनि हुन्छ त्यो गर्दा पनि हुन्छ भनेर सी स्टुड अप सी डिडन्ट प्रिन्ट द बिल yet होइन बिकज त्यो कार्ड स्वाइप गरेपछि त्यो के नम्बर हान्नुपर्छ उनीहरूको होइन सो सी स्टुड अप एन्ड एज सी वाज अबाउट टु लिभ दिस गाई सेज सर यस्तो जाडोमा आउनु भएको छ मलाई एउटा कफी भनिदेऊ न भन्छ है आई वाज लाइक dude what the hell is wrong here
in Nepal
त्यही त I have always been scolded at customer service places because I'm very annoying हुन्छ नि and I'm very careless this time I'm getting treated really well अनि म त त्यो हुन्छ नि त्यो एकदम खतरा फिल भइरहेछ बसिरहेको छ अनि मैले हुन्छ नि अब आउट अफ कर्टेसी I was like no I don't need that coffee बरु I would just chill एकछिन कुर्छु केही छैन भन्छ होइन होइन सर बस्नु न एकैछिन त नि ल त्यहाँ दिलले भनिदियो त कफी भनेर भन्यो now I don't know I feel like I am in a different world I'm chilling there हुन्छ नि अनि म बस्दै थिएँ I get a coffee खाँदैछु this guy suddenly turns on the TV हुन्छ नि this guy was त्यो नाना पाटेको स्टाइलमा बसिरहेको he turns on the TV and says सर थाहा पाउनु भयो हाम्रो त अब इन्टरनेट र टिभी दुवै आउने भयो नि 100वटा च्यानल्स पुरा एचडी सफा हुन्छ नि चिलमा क्या I was like oh yeah that's something I was actually there for हुन्छ नि मैले त वालेट बिर्सेकोले सबै कुरा बिर्सिसकेको थिएँ त्यहाँ अन्त हो यो मलाई बुझ्नुपर्ने थियो के गर्नुपर्छ भन्छ यस्तो स्क्रिनमा हेर्छ होइन आई मिन त्यो कम्प्युटर स्क्रिनमा हेर्छ वेयर माई बिल वाज बिङ जेनेरेटेड हजुरको अलरेडी इन्टरनेट कनेक्सन रहेछ हजुरले महिनाको 200 कि 300 रुपियाँ थप्नु भयो भने चाहिँ तपाईँको घरमा यो आउँछ इन्स्टलेसनको यति पर्छ अनि हियर्स द ब्रोसर यसमा लिस्ट अफ च्यानल्स एन्ड एभ्रिथिङ आई टेक द्याट आइ एम भेरी एक्साइटेड एन्ड आई वान्ट नो आई एक्चुली वान्ट द कनेक्सन इज वेल हुन्छ नि मलाई यो लिनु छ भने केही छैन सर हामी भोलि मान्छे पठाइदिन्छौँ भन्ने खालको कुरा गरिसक्यो क्या त्यही बस्दा बस्दै आइम सिपिङ माई कफी एन्ड देन आई गेट अ मेसेज अन माई फोन सेङ मेरो कार्ड युज भयो भर्खर भनेर पैसा काट्यो भनेर एन्ड देन बिल जेनेरेट भयो आई अर्डर फर द इन्टरनेट कनेक्सन सरी द टिभी कनेक्सन एन्ड आई बिन युजिङ द्याट एभर सिन्स टिल टुडे के एन्ड एभ्री टाइम समबडी एस्क्स मी कुन चाहिँ इन्टरनेट कनेक्सन आई अलवेज से Wordlink. Now, after the story is done, that was great customer experience for me, definitely. But do you know who that guy was actually the Nana Patekar style basiraheko? Whenever I ask this, I mean, share this story and ask this question, most of the times the reply is like, ekdam senior sales manager hola. Koi owner nai ekdam lukera basiraheko hola, त्यहाँ आफ्नो त्यो स्टाफहरु कसरी काम गर्छन् रे हेर्न. Nobody actually guessed that that person was actually the guard of the place. ऊ चाहिँ जाडो भएर भित्र नबसिकन हामी बाहिर नबसिकन भित्र हिटर भएको ठाउँमा बसिरहेको थियो बट दिस गाई नोज द ब्रान्ड सो वेल द्याट ही एक्चुली पर्सुएडेड मी टु बाई अ प्याकेज होइन एन्ड द्याट प्याकेज इफ यु थिङ्क अबाउट इट इट साउन्ड्स लाइक 300 रुपिस पर मन्थ बट सिन्स देन टिल टुडे एन्ड अल द रेकमेन्डेसन्स एन्ड अल द स्टोरिज द्याट आइम सेयरिङ हुन्छ नि अब यो पडकास्ट पनि अब अर्को मिलियन्सले सुन्छ होइन द्याट्स गन बी अ ब्रान्डिङ फर देम एन्ड अगेन इज Wordlink पेइङ मी फर दिस नो not a single penny, not a single discount, but I'm okay with that and I love the brand. I don't even expect that to happen.
अनि यसलाई चाहिँ अब अझै एउटा टर्म पनि जोड्न पाइयो कि कल्चरकै है बिकज द्याट गाई सोज द कल्चर नि त अब एउटा गार्डम्यान पनि इफ इज द्याट कन्सियस अबाउट देयर प्याकेजेस एन्ड हाउ टु ट्रिट अ कस्टमर आई थिङ्क इट्स डेफिनेटली समथिङ अबाउट द कम्पनी
एक्ज्याक्टली त्यही एउटा एकदम इन्ट्रेस्टिङ अर्को पडकास्टमा पनि मैले सुनेको थिएँ हुन्छ नि यु आर अलवेज सो कन्सर्न्ड अबाउट यर बटम लाइन that you never invest on the front line. Yeah,
true.
Front line are the ones where the brand, touch point is. Yeah?
Exactly.
So coming back to the touch point. Kune ठाउँमा जाऊ, if the guard talks to you, रिसुट्ट पाराले,
you judge the whole.
Exactly. Like banks are you don't even have to name banks right now. If you go to a bank, the guard is going to come and teach you how to write a check. How do you feel? You feel like an idiot there. म एकचोटि जाँदाखेरि त्यो डिपोजिट स्लिप भर्दै थिएँ अनि आई हेभ द हेबिट अफ राइटिङ द अकाउन्ट नम्बर एट दि एन्ड बिकज इट्स अन माई फोन हुन्छ नि सो आइम एक्चुली राइटिङ एभ्री अदर डिटेल दिस गार्ड कम्स बिहाइन्ड मी एन्ड सेज त्यहाँ अकाउन्ट नम्बर पहिला लेख्नुहोस् क्या लाइक स्टप इट हुन्छ नि your work is security.
True.
Don't turn into the customer care person.
But then हजुरकै कुरा त्यो गार्डले पनि त his just responsibility was.
But the way that was communicated was different.
The way of communication.
Yeah, he never pushed me to buy anything. Sir, तपाईले यो लाइन लिनै पर्छ हुन्छ नि हामीसँग अब टिभी पनि छ. He didn't say that.
त्यो गार्डले चाहिँ के भन्नु सक्थ्यो भन्दाखेरि हजुरले एकाउन्ट नम्बर बिर्सेको भए चाहिँ त्यहाँबाट थाहा पाइन्छ है भनेको भए चाहिँ would have been better.
Or मैले सोधेको भए. Like think about this. You have an ego. Everybody has an ego. If somebody tells you that you don't know something and somebody tries to teach you something which is you're very comfortable with but you have your own style, you get pissed off.
True.
मैले तिमीलाई पडकास्ट गरिराख्दाखेरि यो माइक यसरी राख्ने होइन यसरी राख्ने भनेर सिकाउनु थाल्यो भने how are you going to feel? As soon as I come in and that's the first thing I say, you don't want to do the podcast anymore. That's how you're going to feel because
because I know you are from a RJ background.
But still हुन्छ नि I could have said it in a good way.
True.
The way how things are communicated makes a lot of difference.
I really want to bring the one more topic जुन अघि हामीले कुरा गरेको थियौँ. There is no generation gap भन्नु थियो नि.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit more about it?
Yeah, this is a very cool thing. Again, I read a lot of books and I watch a lot of YouTube videos. त्यसैमा सुनेको थिएँ जहिले पनि यो generation X, generation Y भनेर ठुल्ठुलो कुरा गरेर आउँछ millennials and everything. It's nothing but according to that guy, it's nothing but how everybody hates their younger generations, right? And why do we do that? Because हाम्रो बेलामा गाह्रो थियो तिमीहरूको बेलामा सजिलो छ. I had this kiच once upon a time. I'm glad that I get to say this on a recorded thing. There was a cousin of mine who actually I hope he watches this well, but yeah. There was a cousin of mine, एउटा family gathering मा जाँदाखेरि I was doing my master's त्यति बेला and he starts telling me that उसको बेलामा मास्टर्स गर्ने बेलामा चाहिँ certain एरियाबाट किर्तिपुरसम्म गाई चलाउँदै जानु पर्थ्यो अरे क्या होइन. अनि त्यसपछि क्लास पढुन्जेल चाहिँ नि त्यो गाईलाई बाहिर बाँधिएर हुन्थ्यो अरे अनि क्लासमा ध्यान दिने कि गाई छ कि छैन हेर्ने हुन्छ नि. द्याट्स हाउ दे डिड देयर मास्टर्स रे क्या. आई गॉट पिस्ड अफ क्या. अनि तिमीहरूको बेलामा पो सजिलो छ त बाइकमा टुइयो गयो आयो बाउ आमाले सबै पुऱ्याइदिरहेछ यस्तो यस्तो भन्यो. आई गो ब्याक होम आई टेल माई ड्याड के बुवा मलाई पनि गाई किनिदिनु गाई लिएर जान्छु कि. If you start talking things like that to your younger generation, they're gonna hate you.
True. Now that is the same thing could have been told you in a very better way.
Exactly.
So no generation gap, communication gap.
Yeah, communication gap. You need to be able to empathize with the generation you're talking with. If I give examples of Facebook to my BBA students, it's never gonna connect with them. I have to give them examples of Instagram.
Exactly.
I have to give them examples of Snapchat right now.
So
that way I can connect with them faster.
Okay. So if I have to give an example, एउटा कुनै ब्रान्ड यति कुनै ब्रान्ड 100 वर्षदेखि चलिरहेको छ भने चाहिँ it's because let's say example of a Coke, 125 years old. So they have been able to communicate so well with every new coming generation. Or any brand, let's say Nike, let's say Apple, Facebook. So it's boils down to the way you are communicating, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically being able, like Agi bhanda jastै marketing is something that's happening every single day. Ani like I always say you don't really predict the future, but you're just really updated about what's happening, and that's how marketing can be done well. Okay? Of course, you have to be open to the new things that's going to come up, but the whole thing is you have to be able to keep up with the generation. So, for example, if you're talking about brands like Coke and Apple, they're never talking about their product, but they're talking about the core that they have always believed in.
Open happiness, taste the feeling.
Coco case mein there's Apple Co has always been about being different. Think different, be different. Always there for the creative people.
Nike just do it.
Like again, the Steve Jobs then एउटा उसमा भनेको छ कि एउटा one of his talks ma Nike is selling commodities, okay? They're selling shoes. But they're never talking about हाम्रो Airsole, Reebok को भन्दा राम्रो छ or Adidas को भन्दा राम्रो छ. They're talking about athletes who are always there doing something. So just to honor them, they say just do it. And now that makes so much sense, okay?
True. तर I think म केमा चाहिँ confused हुन सक्छु भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ now it's all about communication at the end of the day. Marketing, branding, it's all about communication, the product, the placement, it's all about...
You won't drink Coke if it tasted bad, okay?
True.
And even if they talked about open happiness or taste feeling, you won't drink Coke.
Okay.
You will not use Apple if the product was shit. and they said great things.
But you will not drink Coke if it tastes great, but it didn't communicate it well.
Yeah, probably.
It will not last 125 years, though they had the best product in the world, but they didn't communicate it well with the new
Yeah,
generation.
जतिसुकै खतरा brand भए पनि they need caring.
So it's like everything is important.
Of course, that's why it's called, it's not, the 4 P's of marketing is called marketing mix. That's why it's the balance of everything.
Okay. And the communication part comes more on promotion part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now it makes sense. I hope it makes sense to you guys.
Yeah, I hope it does as well. Like, for example, you do a YouTube paid sponsored ad for your podcast, but whatever we're talking is shit. जतिसुकै promote गर, nobody's going to listen to it.
In fact, John, that dislike हुनेवाला छ.
Dislike हुनेवाला छ. There's going to be hate comments there.
So I hate this guy in YouTube, Ty Lopez. Ty Lopez हो कि को एउटा छ कि this comes आइरहेको छ कि social media marketing को course every time के.
Do you remember this ad called let me show you how to make this dope website that I made on Wix? We all know the brand, but we equally hate it as well. Because it was forced to us. We don't like that. It used to work back in the days, but it's not going to work right now. अनि यसमा एउटा एकदम इन्ट्रेस्टिङ नयाँ थ्योरी त नभनौँ, but एउटा नयाँ रिसर्चबाट पत्ता लागेको कुरा, there's something called ad blindness. So whenever an ad comes up on YouTube while we're watching something or we're trying to watch something, हाम्रो आँखा एडमा कहिले पनि जाँदैन. हाम्रो आँखा जहिले पनि 4 seconds left, 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, skip. That's called ad blindness. हामीलाई थाहा भइसक्यो कि कति बेला ad आउँछ र हामीले कहाँबाट skip गर्न मिल्छ. Whenever you go to a website and there comes a pop-up thing,
you search for ads.
You don't see anything. You look for the cross button.
True.
तिमीले के भन्छ उसमा डेस्कटप कम्प्युटरमै or ल्यापटपमै चलाइराख्दाखेरि पनि when you use Facebook, there is one section that is dedicated for ads. We never see that.
तर अहिले त हजुरको बिचमा wall placement
त्यो पनि आउँछ. जति बेला sponsored भन्छ, we just tend to skip it.
True.
And that's called ad blindness. Now what we have been doing, and this was also back in the days as well, TV हेर्दा ad on the we used to skip the channel. अनि त अर्को च्यानलमा के आइरहेछ हेर्नको लागि.
त्यही भएर चाहिँ आई थिङ्क सरी मैले हजुरलाई टोकिहालेँ, कन्टेन्ट प्लेसमेन्ट आएको होला कि ब्रान्ड
कन्टेन्ट प्लेसमेन्ट, प्रडक्ट प्लेसमेन्ट.
एक्ज्याक्टली.
That's such a beautiful thing now.
जस्तै भनौँ कोकको कन्ट्याक्समा चाहिँ अब हङ्गर हन्टमा चाहिँ दे नेभर टक अबाउट कोक. दे जस्ट द होस्ट जस्ट ड्रिङ्क कोक एभ्री वन्स इन अ वाइल के.
Yeah, that happened. I think Nepal Idol or केमा पनि they had a cup which had Oppo logo. Never talked about Oppo anything. But after the performance was done, Oppo selfie भनेर लिन्थ्यो. Now they actually made the brand a verb again.
Part of the process.
And then Oppo भन्ने बित्तिकै selfies भनेर आयो. And that's how they wanted to brand themselves. Such a beautiful thing.
एकदम. अनि अब मैले चाहिँ यो कुरा चाहिँ केमा रिलेट गर्छु भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ with a lot of clients that we work with, we divide content because one of the core thing that I do is I do content marketing. Okay? We produce a lot of content for a lot of our clients. And how do I brief them is there are two kinds of content. एउटा चाहिँ branding content, एउटा चाहिँ sales content. Okay? Sales content is a lot about your product, your attributes, के कसो छ यता उता why we are best. Brand content is all about giving values through your brand. Okay? And what I say is, if you are looking for a long-term thing, go with a formula called 70-30. So 30% of the content that we produce would be a sales content, would actually be talking about your product. But 70% of the content that we produce would be talking about how like tips and tutorials, techniques of how life can be made better for those demographic. For example, if you're an educational consultancy, the kind of content that we produce for our client is things to do when you are in Australia, how to prepare yourself for Australian studies, not why we are the best consultancies. I know what are the myth of abroad studies, how to choose which courses, because that is about giving values. Now when you do that, it's called a guilty marketing. Okay? You made your client guilty of buying that product whenever you want to buy similar product. अनि एउटै कुरा म चाहिँ एउटा जज गर्छु. एक्चुअली मेरो एउटा पर्सनल एक्सपिरियन्स छ. My dad and I had to visit Pasupati. So I was in my college. He told me I will be there by 9:30. म 9:30 मा चाहिँ पशुपतिको त्यो चोकमा पुगेँ होइन, त्यो गौशाला चोकमा. ड्याड वाज लेट. आई वाज अन बाइक, ही वाज अन बस. अनि 15-20 मिनट लाग्छ जस्तो कुराहरू भयो. सो आई ह्याड टु वेट देयर डुइङ नथिङ. एन्ड आई सी अ गाई के विथ त्यो धोती अनि त्यो हुन्छ नि हजुरको टिका लगाइदिने ठाउँमा गएर लाइक त्यो मुभेबल मन्दिर होइन. अनि हि गोज अनि हरेक कुरामा आफै गएर के सोद्धा पनि सोध्दैन, टिका लगाइदिन्छ. अनि हि जस्ट वेट के अनि त्यहाँको मान्छे मैले अब्जर्भ मैले लिटरली त्यो मान्छेलाई फलो गरेको दाइ एराउन्ड पनि म 15 मिनटको पछि गएँ होला कहाँ पुगिसकेको थिएँ होइन के गर्छ जान्छ टिका लगाइदिन्छ अनि जस्ट वेट इट डज नट इभन आस्क फर मनी एन्ड द्याट गाई बिस्तारै पर्स खोल्छ होइन ऊ दुखी छ कि खुसी छ थाहा छैन न 5 रुपियाँ निकाल्छ दिन्छ कि सायद एउटा दुईवटा मान्छेले ल होइन टिका लाउन भनेन कि ओके दिस गाई इज डुइङ गिल्टी मार्केटिङ नेपालको कन्टेक्समा क्या नेपाल र इन्डिया कन्टेक्समा दिस विल वर्क सो वेल के हजुरले गिल्टी बनाइदिनु भयो क्या भगवान्को नाममा
But that's also where you have to be very smart, okay? Because I've faced this as well. And every time they try to do this, I was like, no. म टिका लाउँदिनँ भन्छ they was like भगवान्को टिका हो भने म भगवान्मा विश्वासै गर्दिनँ भन्छ नि I become that because why do I pay जे पाए त्यही कुरा
एक्ज्याक्टली फर समथिङ यु आर नट त्यो पोइन्टमा चाहिएको पनि छैन कि तर लट अफ नर्मल हुन्छ नि एउटा नर्मल नेपालीहरू नर्मल इन्डियन या हाम्रो हिन्दू ओरिएन्टेसनको कन्टेक्समा चाहिँ भगवान् भन्ने बित्तिकै होइन अब अनि एन्ड द थिङ आई लाइक अबाउट हिम वाज हि डिड आस्क फर मनी के
He just stood there.
Now the guy is guilty के he has to give something होइन अनि त्यो कुरा चाहिँ मलाई गिल्टी मार्केटिङ चाहिँ अनि आई डोन्ट नो मैले गिल्टी मार्केटिङ भनेर पढेको छैन त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ आई स्टार्टेड युजिङ गिल्टी मार्केटिङ इभन विथ माई क्लाइन्ट्स कि यु मेक युर कस्टमर सो गिल्टी बाई गिभिङ सो मच भ्याल्यु द्याट वेन एभर दे वान बाई सिमिलर प्रडक्ट दे वुड कम टु यु एटलिस्ट फर अ कन्सल्टेसन होइन सो फुटफल त बढ्यो नि त नाउ इट्स अप टु यु योर सेल्स गाई इफ हि अर सी क्यान कन्भर्ट इट अर नट
अफ कोर्स तर again that's not the right way of doing marketing once
I know social media ma why I think that is the right way to do marketing is because people are not going to watch your ad ke they are not interested why you are the best ke because to kura ta manchele word of mouth बाट सुन्न
सक्छ नि त
तर if you keep on giving them values I think because this is what I'm trying to do with podcast right now I'm not monetizing it I am not looking for money all I'm trying to do is create so valuable content that if in future if we bring a product, they will buy because they have got so much value out of this thing. And I will not even have to post keep them. So this is something, if you would like to buy it, please buy it. Because this will support the whole process that goes on the back.
My bahar ekdam interesting kura notice gareke. You just marketed all your brands and ekdam subtly within this and I can say it out.
But that was not the intention.
Yeah. Maybe guilty marketing again.
So moving on.
यत्रो भनिसक्यो हैन अब त गर्नै पर्यो
त यो बिहा भएन नि
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Yeah, next question please.
So एउटा इन्ट्रेस्टिङ कुरा चाहिँ मलाई कस्तो लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ a lot of people are living Nepal because they do not see opportunities in Nepal. हैन a lot of people are staying in Nepal not because they see opportunity in Nepal but because they are betting on the opportunities in Nepal. जस्तै मलाई I don't know correct me if I'm wrong no म एकदमै बाहिर जानेवाला मान्छे हो कि यतिसम्मको बाहिर जाने मान्छे हो कि म बच्चाको रफ कपी हुन्छ नि त्यसमा मैले अल्छी लाग्यो नि USA कोड थियो कि त्यो डुडल के
ओके
हैन अनि तर म किन नेपालमा बसेँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ मैले बेट गरेँ जस्तो लाग्छ कि हैन कि 2014 मा डिसिजन लिएको कि नेपाल बस्ने भनेर न 2019 मा चाहिँ आई नो माई बेट हेज गन राइट के नाउ आई एम बेटिङ मोर अन 2025 2030 2045 होइन अनि आई थिङ्क अहिलेको यङ जेनेरेसनहरू चाहिँ अब देखिरहेको छ नि गरिरहेको छन् केटाहरूले भनेपछि होला मैले पनि अझ 2019 मा केही सुरु गरेँ भने बाई द टाइम इट्स 2020 21 22 23 केही न केही चाहिँ निस्किन्छ है भन्छ बेटिङ प्रोसेस जस्तो लाग्छ कि मलाई चाहिँ होइन सो लट अफ यङ पिपल आर बेटिङ नि त सो मेरो क्वेसन चाहिँ हजुरलाई चाहिँ हाउ डु यु जेनरलाइज नेक्स्ट 5-10 years फ्रम अ मार्केटिङ पर्सपेक्टिभ बिकज विथ मार्केटिङ देयर कम्स अ मार्केट होइन सो माई क्वेसन टु यु इज हाउ डु यु सी all these things that is evolving in terms of
Nepal. For me I would always say annual plan बनाउनु is a good idea 5-year plan बनाउनु is also a good idea but again remember always that planning is guessing
True.
So the whole idea is even if you have the greatest ideas like I think a lot of technological interventions going to come up a lot of new platforms for marketing is going to open up as well you have to be ready for that like for example कति 10-15 वर्ष अगाडि Facebook भन्ने कुरा थिएन but right now because Facebook is there and you're constantly updated about Facebook you can now advertise there easily comfortably
so what you're talking about is you're talking about the medium to communicate with the market
so
not about the market.
What I'm assuming or what I'm expecting is in the next 5 years, they are going to open new channels for new communication mediums.
So
अहिले जति छैन.
But my question is on market. How do you predict?
Who am I to predict the market?
A marketing enthusiast.
I am always learning. So जे change हुन्छ, I will adapt to it very easily. But I can never guess what's going to happen next. But the market is definitely going to change. Plus, अघिको जुन question थियो नि about the people going abroad wala kura. We've actually done a sort of design thinking challenge sort of a thing. So we wanted to know why people go outside. And one of the biggest reasons why people wanted to go outside, out of everybody we talked to, was never for the availability of new courses outside. Okay? So कतिजनाले चाहिँ भन्छ नि नेपालमा मैले पढ्न खोजेको कुरै छैन भन्छ.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Can I guess why?
Yeah, sure.
For security, stability.
That is like the secondary or tertiary reasons.
Lifestyle.
Yeah, they want to go out for lifestyle. And their lifestyle is definitely associated with freedom.
No matter what kind of job.
Yeah. जे गरे पनि I can post crazy social media photos. जतिसुकै दुःख गरे पनि लास्टमा गएर चाहिँ हुन्छ नि
I can drive a car.
I can drive a car. And why do you think that's possible भनेर सोद्धाखेरि मेरो दाइ हुनुहुन्थ्यो, उहाँले त्यही गरिराख्नु भएको छ नि, फेसबुकमा फोटो देख्दा कस्तो रमाइलो लाग्छ क्या. So if you're talking about everything like that, हुन्छ नि, the mindsets have changed. And this is going to change every day. मलाई हुन्छ where do you see yourself after 5 years भन्ने क्वेसन यस्तो मन पर्दैन क्या.
Because that is one of the most asked question in interview.
Yeah, it's the most asked question in interview, but why do you think about 5 years? Okay? You think about 2 years ago, did you think you would be here? Or even like 1 year ago, do you think you would be who you are right now? Things change.
Definitely.
So fast.
Definitely.
अनि survival of the fittest भन्ने त्यो पहिलादेखिकै theory छ नि. The ones who survive are the ones who are constantly being able to adapt. Okay? So market kata jancha is none of our concern.
And but for someone who is staying in Nepal who wants to start a business, definitely market kata jancha भन्ने कुरा त थाहा हुनु पर्यो.
But to the industry specific हुन्छ नि त. But think about it. Car dealers, did they think that electric cars are going to take the market so easily? No. Inverter businesses, did they think that load shedding was going to go? No.
Politics.
Exactly. There's so much different things. Again, that's how the market works. Okay? You never know how it's going to change.
Agreed.
So, I would say predicting or guessing the future is not something that we should be doing. We should just be ever ready to face whatever shows up.
But if you are in one specific niche and looking to expand scale, don't you think that is something important? And I'll try to prove that with my next question. So if you want to start a business, what kind of business would you start? I'll give you an option. A premium product that is targeted to more high class people, or a product, let's say, that is targeted to more middle class or lower middle class people. The two options that you have, which one would you choose?
So basically, do I want to start Rolex or YY?
Yes.
I would definitely go for Rolex.
Why?
Because before starting a business, I would not think, like, this is a very personal thing, probably everybody thinks of this from that angle as well. I will not start something that I'm not good at. I need at least some background information on what I'm trying to do. And that's me. That's the kind of person I am. If I start a business right now, probably it's going to be, it might have something to do with education. I know. Education, educational technology.
So again, on that part, education technology, education targeted to more high class people. There are more people with higher money to afford it, or make it more accessible to.
I would make something that a lot of people would want, but not easily available.
So in terms of prices? Because my question would be, let me reframe your background. You are starting a business to make money, not for an impact. So your intention should be, your answer should be because you are trying to make money. Okay?
Yeah.
I know. So हजुरले भन्नुभयो एजुकेसनमा जाने कि रोलेक्समा जाने, लेट्स which one do you want to talk about? Because हजुरले दुईटा एन्सर दिनुभयो.
Like, I want to be the Rolex of education.
Okay.
Just think about it. Like, so, I would make like workshops and training programs that is so good. You get it once a year. It costs you 20,000 rupees for 3-hour session. But I'll make sure that it's so beautiful that you will save up for 1 year and buy it.
So my earlier question, कुन context मा थियो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ, if you are starting a business, let's say एउटा niche को, हजुरले prediction त गर्नुहुन्छ नि त, maybe next year, 2 year, 3 years market aware भइरहेको छ, त्यो particular demographic is looking to invest on such services या such industry भनेपछि मैले त्यही अनुसारले चाहिँ मेरो product build गर्न पर्छ भनेर prediction त गर्न पर्छ नि त. Again, backing up with my experience with Wedding Rooms Nepal, I'm trying to make it one of the most premium wedding management company in Nepal. So because
you want to be the Rolex of
weddings.
Yeah.
And so त्यो context मा चाहिँ because I'm betting कि अबको दिनमा चाहिँ market would be looking to invest 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 for one day event. हैन? या अझै हायर होइन डिपेन्डिङ अपन हाउ वेल यु कस्टमाइज द होल प्याकेज सो मैले त्यो बेट गरेर राख्छु नि त कि आई नो द मार्केट इज गोइङ टु बी रेडी दो द च्यानल विल बी डिफ्रेन्ट सोसियल मिडिया होला स्न्यापच्याट होला डिफ्रेन्ट मिडियामा होला अनि आई निड टु बी स्योर कि आई एम प्रिटी पर्फर्मिङ प्रिटी वेल अन द्याट प्लेटफर्म बट देन मार्केट रेडी छ भनेर त मैले प्रिडिक्सन त गर्नु पऱ्यो नि त
If you're talking in just in terms of money,
जस्ट इन टर्म्स अफ मनी बिजनेस
just in terms of money, but you can predict anything and work according, and you can definitely reach there anytime.
So if you can keep yourself on a shoe of someone who is looking to make money, how do you predict next 5 or 6 or 7, 8 years market in Nepal? Just from someone, because you have been observing a lot, you got an opportunity.
Yस्तो भनौँ न त, let's make it very simple.
Please.
Like back in the days when I was doing workshops, I used to do it for free. I used to do workshops for free. I used to take guest lectures for free, everything for free. I created a brand. Fast forward 3 years after that, I never planned on anything, but every talk I used to give, I used to get a lot higher money. Anything higher than 0 is good right now.
Exactly.
But normal सोच्ने भन्दा नि धेरै पैसा पाउँथ्यो क्या. But I never predicted that. I was just ready for it. किनभने एउटा पोइन्टमा पुगिसकेपछि कसैले फ्रीमा बोलायो भने I'm going to do something for free in my free time, and I don't have free time. Used to be my answer again. Why? Because I've already created that value. I've already created that brand. And again, whatever you're thinking is a step-by-step process. Okay? So you want to be one of the best premium photography studio or photography services, well, I think you have to be able to give services where people see value there. And where they see value is ever changing. पहिला सेल्फी भन्ने कुरा we used to be such a weird thing. हैन? अहिले
मोबाइल फोन नै सेल्फी बेस्ट सेल्फी क्यामेरा भन्छ.
Exactly. Mobile is no more about anything else but cameras. That's how the market shifted. DSLR हरुलाई त्यसले गर्दा गाह्रो भयो? Probably भएन. Because सबैजनाले कम्पेरिजन DSLR क्यामेरासँगै गर्न थाले. यसको क्यामेरा चाहिँ DSLR जस्तै राम्रो छ. What is DSLR? खतरा क्यामेरा. So things go that way. Ever changing.
I bought this mobile, no? Because they started marketing it. The camera is from one of the best manufacturing camera called Leica. The phone has the technology of a DSLR brand called Leica. Pura logo राख्दैछ कि Leica. जी makes so much sense. त्यही त अनि फेरि त मैले मेरो एन्सर चाहिँ हजुरबाट किन पाएन भन्दा फेरि चाहिँ because
मेरो answer very clear छ नि त. I'm not predicting anything. Don't predict anything.
अनि तर आफू एउटा
Stay updated.
नेपालमा बसिरहेको छु नेपालमा एउटा बिजनेस गरिरहेको छु भने अलिकति सिक्युरिटी सेन्स अफ सिक्युरिटी हुनु पऱ्यो कि द कन्ट्री इज डेफिनेटली मुभिङ समवेयर टु अ मोर प्रोग्रेसिभ
एन्टरप्रेन्योरसिपको वान अफ द मेजर हुन्छ नि फिचर्स इज रिस्क टेकिङ भन्छ नि. You take calculated risk. Yeah, you do that, but you calculate it on the current thing or what has happened in the past.
Building a vision for the future though.
Yeah, building a vision for the future, of course, but you're willing to take the risk whether it's going to work in the future or not.
True.
Like for example, again, going back to Apple again, Macintosh nikalda, it was like the future-proof thing.
It was not, but they did predict कि भविष्यमा चाहिँ पर्सनल कम्प्युटर would be a personal need of a lot of people. And so I think investing in personal computer is definitely a good idea भन्ने context prediction त थियो नि त.
But कतिवटा बिजनेसेसहरुले त्यस्तो ट्राई गर्यो, it did not work and we don't know about it.
Prediction त definitely it comes with a big
of course सोच्नु त पर्छ. You should have a big vision. Like for me, I would say हुन्छ नि there should be a university which does not के भन्छ take exams.
Okay.
अनि उनीहरुको मार्कशीट should not be a numbered thing but a portfolio of their work so far. I know that's my vision. That's how I'm seeing the future. How long is it going to take? If this takes in next 10 years ma bhayo bhane people will come back to this podcast and listen to it. Abhisekh le zamana ma predict gare kya khatra genius मान्छे भन्छ. If this does not happen, this stock is gone ke सक्यो के.
Relevant भएन.
So the history is always written by the winners भन्छ नि. So if the winner is a marketer, they would be like, oh, मलाई पहिल्यै थाहा थियो क्या. But what they're doing is they're just simply guessing what might happen. Calculated guesses छ. You see the trends of, for example, अहिले electric carsहरुको कुरामा
So I think मैले चाहिँ हजुरलाई क्वेसन कसरी सोध्नु पर्ने थियो भन्दा निच स्पेसिफिक भएर सोच्नु पर्ने थियो होला हैन. किन भन्दा जस्तै निच स्पेसिफिक जस्तै फर एक्जाम्पल इलेक्ट्रिक कारको मात्र अब हजुरले प्रेडिक्सन नै गर्नु हो नि त.
मैले प्रेडिक्ट गरेको छैन.
We can predict it. अहिले हाम्रो यो 5-6 मिनेटकै कुरामा चाहिँ we can come to a conclusion कि okay, electric cars can definitely be a big thing in future. हैन?
I didn't say big thing in the future. It became a big thing right now.
Right now.
But somebody probably thought of it like 5 to 10 years ago.
Elon Musk maybe.
यस्तो गर्नुपर्छ होला भनेर सोचेको थियो होला होइन. It worked out, that's why they're like, oh yeah, राम्रो भयो हुन्छ नि. But if it didn't work out, like मलाई पनि त पानीले चढ्ने गाडी बनाउन मन छ नि त कुनै दिन हुन्छ नि H2O राख्ने होइन. It's gonna run 1 liter petrol, I mean 1 liter of pani
100 kilometers
and 2 kilometers. Let's not be that ambitious. Like if I'm saying that might work as well. You never know.
Okay. So I have a prediction to make.
Yeah.
मलाई चाहिँ कस्तो लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ we have been buying brandless things so much कि अब चाहिँ लोकल ब्रान्डको लागि चाहिँ ह्युज पोटेन्सियल जस्तो लाग्छ किन आई थिङ्क द्याट हेज बिन प्रुभ बाई ब्रान्ड्स लाइक लटिडो एन्ड डुला के होइन जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल एन्ड मिचा होइन एन्थ्रोपोज मन्त्र गिटार होइन किनभने लास्ट टाइम चाहिँ मैले आई गट एन अपर्च्युनिटी टु टक टु अमर दाई हाम्रो दुलाको अनि टिएफटीको अनि उहाँले चाहिँ के भन्नु भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हि आस्क्ड मी अ सिम्पल क्वेसन कि इफ यु ह्याड टु बाई अ सु होइन वेयर वुड यु गो इफ यु हेभ टु बाई अ ब्रान्डेड सु के होइन अनि त्यति बेला चाहिँ द फर्स्ट एन्सर द्याट केम अन माई हेड वाज न्यू रोड होइन न्यू रोडमा सबै सामान पाइन्छ होइन देन हि सेड थिङ्स आर चेन्जिङ नाउ इफ यु आस्क टु अ लट अफ आवर कन्ज्युमर्स दे विल से लबी मल या यो या दवामा जहाँ चाहिँ टिएफटी छ होइन सो त्यसरी चाहिँ अबको कन्सियस चाहिँ ब्रान्ड पिपलहरू यस्तो कन्सियस भइरहेको छ किन नेपालमा टी सर्ट गर्नको लागि दे सुड बी अ ब्रान्ड दे इज अ पोटेन्सियल फर अ टी सर्ट ब्रान्ड के सो पिपल वान बाई अ ब्रान्डेड क्लोथ नट अ फेक प्रोडक्ट एनिमोर सो नेपालको कन्टेक्स्ट नेपालकोमा चाहिँ दे इज अ लट अफ बिग अपर्च्युनिटिज अन डिफ्रेन्ट निस इफ एन्टरप्रेनर्स न्यू यङ पिपल क्यान thought of an idea to bring a Nepali made brand in this market, I think there is a big future जस्तो लाग्छ.
Okay, so त्यो एंगलबाट सोधिरहेको हो भने the answer to this can be the market is going to be so smart that you cannot fool them anymore.
True.
They're going to be super duper smart.
Okay.
So if you're trying to fool them, त्यो पहिला marketersहरुले चाहिँ तालु मान्छेलाई काङ्गे बेच्न सक्छ भन्छ नि, it's not going to happen.
Not going to happen anymore.
The dumbest person you try to sell is going to be smarter than you about your product because they know everything.
Exactly. I think I should learn to ask better questions.
Yeah.
I'm not asking better questions.
होइन probably मैले बुझिनँ होला.
Oh, true.
You just made a fool out of both of them.
Moving on. होइन त्यही क्वेसनलाई चाहिँ मैले एउटा गर्छु होइन डु यु थिङ्क विनोद चौधरी वुड हेभ बिन अ बिलिनियर जस्ट अब हाम्रो कुरा मात्र विनोद सरलाई चाहिँ नो अफेन्स वुड हेभ बिन अ बिलिनियर इफ ही वुड हेभ सोल्ड चाउ अन अ मच हायर रेन्ज made it a more premium. Let's say he would have sold YY as a macaroni, which you cannot buy for 10, 15, 20 rupees. It would cost 50 or 100 rupees. Do you think he would be a billionaire?
I don't know. कसरी भन्ने त्यो कुरा. I don't know how the sales figures work there.
किनभने मैले यो कुरा चाहिँ केसँग रेट गर्न खोजेको भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो प्रिमियम र मोर लोकल कन्टेक्स्टमा रेट.
Let's go back है त त्यसमा. अझ पछाडिबाट सोचौँ न नि. We don't know कसरी सेगमेन्ट गरेर इन्भेस्ट गरेको थियो. What was the vision behind it? How was the team working? बाहिरबाट हेरेर त्यस्तो भन्नु सजिलो हुन्छ बट इट्स नट अ रियली कन्टेन्टवाला कुरा इट्स जस्ट अ भेरी सर्फेसियल गफ जस्तो हुन्छ क्या बट त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि हुन्छ नि लाइक थिङ्क अफ इट इन 2 वेज भेरी सिम्पल वे वाइ 10 प्याकेट 10 रुपियाँमा बेच्यो भने 100 रुपियाँ कमाउँछ स्पगेटी टाइपको थिङ 100 रुपियाँमा बेचेर एउटा बेच्यो भने सेम पैसा कमाउँछ हुन्छ नि भल्युममा सेल्स गर्ने कि त्यो प्रिमियममा सेल्स गर्ने बोथ वेज यो 10वटा बिक्नको लागि जति मिहिनेत गर्नुपर्छ प्रब्लम यो एउटा बिक्नको लागि त्यति नै मिहिनेत गर्नुपर्छ पैसा कमाउने पनि सेम हो सो लेट्स नट हुन्छ प्रिडिक्ट समबडी इज हुन्छ नि त्यो
तर मैले चाहिँ कुनै एउटा पर्सपेक्टिभ राख्न खोजेको भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यदि नेपाल त बल्ल ग्रो भइरहेको भर्डर कन्ट्री हुन्छ सो कन्जम्सन पावर इज नट एज स्ट्रङ सो मेबी नेपालमा चाहिँ त्यो एउटा माइक्रोनी या त स्पगेटी बेच्न चाहिँ किन्ने मान्छे चाहिँ 100जना हुन्थ्यो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ 15 रुपियाँ 20 रुपियाँको चाउचाउ किन्ने मान्छे चाहिँ 1000जना हुन सक्दैन त्यो रेसियोमा कन्ट्याक्समा कुराहरू मात्र खोजेको हुन्छ नट प्रिडिक्टिङ नट
अब त्यो पनि अब इट्स अ भेरी डिफिकल्ट थिङ के बिकज I was talking to one of my mentors and one of the things he mentioned was very powerful yeah? Like I don't know how Binod Chaudhary did it, how he became a billionaire like I don't know the story behind it, probably a lot of hard work definitely so that's there. Being very smart is also there. But think about this. There's nothing called a good decision or a bad decision once again. So he made a lot of decisions to reach where he is right now. I know. So if you look at whatever he did, he made the right decisions. And when you're doing something right now, we're always confused. Your decision, your decision. But if you look at it or if you think of it properly, there's no such thing called good decision or bad decision. It's about how you follow up with that.
Persistent.
Yeah, the decision is more important.
Exactly.
I know because let's say for example, me switching job might be a very bad decision if you look at it from an outsider's perspective. You know, me trying to leave the world of workshops and teaching and be a hardcore marketer might be a very good decision for me because I get the industry knowledge also. But what if things go wrong? Like, एकदम simple context में जाँदाखेरि SLC मा राम्ररी पढेको मैले डक्टर हुन्थेँ क्या. That's how people would perceive it. But SLC मा राम्रो गरेर म साइन्स पढेर अनि मेरो नराम्रो सङ्गत भएर म ड्रग एडिक्ट भएको भएँ.
So it's
I
not
would go on the
decision.
other direction. So you cannot say what's going to happen next or हुन्छ नि.
So continuous present मा के एक्सन लियो हैन that matter. So एउटा ठ्याक्क कोट याद आयो कि from a guy that I follow so much, Gary Vaynerchuk भन्ने. You pick one and you run गरे के. हैन, whatever you pick, you know, make sure you stay true to that and you run.
Yeah.
It will definitely shape up into something beautiful.
Of course.
Right?
Of course. म बच्चा बेलामा ड्राइङ गर्थेँ. I never knew I could design logos later on. But I loved it. I'm saying I had no idea what's
Any
going to
brands
happen.
that you designed it for?
I've made a lot of logos for a lot of brands, especially startups. कतिवटा existing छ, कतिवटा existing छैन. Personally, one of my favorite is Latido. Bilal. So that was back in the days, I think 2014 तिर बनाएको होला त्यो logo.
Okay.
Out of all the logos, that was the selected one. And again, the logo is not that great, but how he made that brand out of that logo was something that was beautiful.
Day by day.
Day by day, the logo is now more closer to everybody.
He came up with the whole thing called Day by Day campaign. It's like, woo, smart guy.
So Bilal, again, logo is nothing, but how that day by day and all the feelings that he has associated with the brand, that's what makes Latido right now. It was never about the logo. It was all about how he made that brand work.
Like you said, you do not buy anything looking at a logo, you know, how beautiful logo is, but then the persona that it carries.
Yeah, it's simply like your face is your logo. The way you behave becomes your brand. You can add people on Facebook looking at their profile picture, okay? But you deciding whether to become real friends with them or not is how they're going to communicate with you.
True. So
yeah, I was talking about brands right now. So yeah, something that I'm really proud of was Latido. The second brand I'm really proud of is Ibima. Probably you haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I have.
So yeah, that logo is also something that I built and something that's really close to me.
I don't exactly remember, but then I remember a meeting that I had with Ibima because we were trying to collaborate with them in terms of doing Bima for a lot of our employees. So that's how I remember them.